My name is John Bunn. I was recently exonerated after 27 years for being accused and convicted of a crime I had no knowledge of, I had nothing to do with. I was 14 years old.
I'm an innocent man, Your Honor, and I have always been an innocent man, Your Honor.
One morning I was having breakfast and we had got a bang on our door, and it was a gang of police. They rushed into my home and they started saying I was involved in a fight and a robbery, and they wanted to take me down to the police station for questioning.
August 13th, 1991, Crown Heights, Brooklyn. 2 off-duty correction officers were ambushed.
Police say the 2 gunmen forced the officers from their car, shot them, and then stole the car.
They took me down to 77 Precinct. The interrogation was actually led by a rogue detective by the name of Louis Garcella, and he was threatening me, telling me that I was never coming home if I wouldn't tell him what he wanted to know. He put me in a lineup with grown men. He made me sit down and hold a number up, and a couple minutes later he came back and told me it was my lucky day that I got picked. I woke up the next day thinking it was a dream, that it was like I was gonna be home, that it wasn't real. This is where they say that the officer, the correctional officer, was shot and killed.
The case was worked by the now disgraced NYPD detective, Louis Garcella.
This happened like 4 in the morning. I was in my house sleeping at the time when this happened. The only time I got a chance to speak was before sentencing, and I spoke to the victim's family, and I explained that it's a tragedy if somebody loses their life or get hurt, but I wasn't the one that committed the crime. They wound up sentencing me to 20 years to life. I was a kid, I was a baby. When they sent me to prison, that was like one of the most scariest feelings I ever experienced. And I didn't know how to read. I wanted to communicate with my mother, and I just wanted to tell her how I felt. And that motivated me. I started with like dictionaries and children's books. By the time I was 17, they was also sending me to state prison. So I got my GED and I graduated to state prison.
We have some more boxes. New boxes came today.
Books, we got a whole bunch of books.
John Bunn is like a nephew to me. When he came out of prison, he wanted to start a book drive. So what I did was offer my home to him. Nice.
Reading changed my life. Reading changed my mentality as a person. I wrote my mother one day and I said, they can lock my body, but they can't trap my mind. I've been in there where I felt trapped without a voice for so long, but the power of reading could take my imagination and take me to anywhere in this universe, and I don't feel like I'm trapped anymore. In order for me to push forward, I dedicated myself to a literacy program which I started. It's called A Voice for Unheard. Psychology, physical therapy. Just look at the type of books that we got.
John started a library on Rikers Island in the prison, and he gave over 20,000 books.
Good morning, class. How y'all doing? Good. I really want to travel all over the country and speak to the kids and tell them my story so they can learn from me if they can in any kind of way possible, and that's like my way of giving back. Can anybody tell me what peer pressure is? What's peer pressure? I consider myself a warrior. I don't consider myself weak. I feel like I can adjust to almost any circumstances after I done been through what I've been through, and I could survive it. Let's get a group hug, y'all. One group hug. When I go in them classrooms, when I'm with them babies right now, I'm a symbol of leadership to them. There's no greater feeling than me feeling like I'm existing for a purpose, and this is what gives my life purpose right now. Through my adversity and through my misery, I think like God has presented me with a blessing. So through my nightmare, I usually say I found my dream.